Hey everyone, it's good to see you today, and I just want to give you an update for day 4 of MLM Science here at just to kind of check in with you. My name's Bill Reinecke, and I've been I started this journey a few days ago. Officially kicked it off with this channel and building an MLM business from scratch. I'm currently in an MLM company, and I've been in it for a couple years, and I have never developed a downline in this particular episode of being in an MLM. I've probably, I think maybe my 4th or 5th one in many years. So I'm not a fair weather person. When I get into something, I usually stick it out. I got into this MLM with the idea of sticking it out and building a business. And so it didn't work out the way I'd hoped. I had reached out and did some research and made a lot of phone calls and got really picky about who I was going to get sponsored by. And so I got sponsored by somebody that's been in the business and made a lot of money and seemed, they are very successful. But when they started asking me for, or directing me to, come up with a list of my friends and family, I said, not doing that no more. And they said, well, make a list of 100 people, and just anybody you can think of. And no, not doing that. I could probably come up with a list of about 200, but being a social worker by day, currently, I'm not going to do that. That's unethical, and I'm not going to gain from those relationships that I have. So it's not about me. So I knew there had to be another way. So I started out researching, and then I came across a program. Well, first in my home business, I have a business called Bill's Work at Home Business. I have a website, and I was working on a project, and I went and checked out ClickFunnels. I was going to say ClickFunnels, but ClickFunnels did their 14-day trial, and I've kept it because I was that impressed with it. It didn't start out that way. I just kind of always pushed it aside, and it's like, nah. I don't need another shiny object or something to distract me. So I wished I'd grabbed it sooner, but maybe it just wasn't time. But anyway, I got that, and one of the things that they had introduced, and as I got into the funnel, was a training. And it was, I think it's pretty low on the funnel, and it was $100, and it was a one funnel away challenge. And I looked at it, and I kicked the idea around for a while, and I thought, oh, what the heck, I'm going to do this. And so it happens over 30 days, and I found myself like the next day I was just waiting for the next little bit of information to be dripped out. And so I've just continued to do that, and I've seen some real progress in my business. So that's kind of was a turning point for me, was just getting involved and taking that training. And I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on training and coaching. I mean, literally, I pulled out my credit card and spent $2,000 and just like thinking I was going to be taught, and even told I was going to be taught how the guru made their lifestyle, or made the money to work from home. And all they wanted me to do was kind of schlep out some cheap products, and I was like, yeah, I'm not, I wished I could have got a refund, but I didn't. And the industry's small, and they're I figured out how they do it, and it's not the model that I want to do. So anyway, I guess I did learn something there. So I want to just do a check-in today. I got a little cheat sheet here. Don't want to forget, kind of what I've done in the last day. In case you're just tuning in for the first time, I was going to do this anyway. I was going to start filming my progress, and I was going to do this at night, when I was at the end of the day. And so about 4 days ago now, or whatever, I got let go from my job, and so it happens. I've never had that happen before, and so I'm never going to have it happen again, because here I am on this journey. I was already going to do this, so maybe it was serendipity, as they say. I don't know. I don't believe in all that, but I definitely believe my Lord and Savior has His hand in things. And so anyway, I'm putting the finishing touches on an amazing product, and it's called Epic Info Pro. And what it is it's a training or an information product about creating information products. And what's really cool about this one is, and I've been working on this for about 2 months, is that it doesn't only take you over the shoulder. I get into a lot of nuts and bolts in the beginning, but I actually take you through the process of sitting down and just brainstorming what's a product, or what's the market, and figuring out where that market's at, and then niching it down to where we can come up with a product that addresses a very specific niche. And I go through that whole process. I show you how to research and figure out how much traffic is there, and is it worth your time even, And so often, and I've heard this over and over and over, when people say, well, sit down and make a list of all your interests, well, maybe I like, I don't know, growing tulips on my roof, how many people are going to be interested in that? I don't know, maybe there is. But the thing about it is that a lot of our interests just don't have the attention that really makes it worth our time. So, it takes you through a process and helps you figure out, is your idea, even worth pursuing? And if not, we'll go back and grab another one. So we go through this process where we come up with a finished product. I'm not going to tell you what that finished product is. So anyway, I'll have the link down below. And I'm actually, thinking about doing a pretty amazing special on that product, so I won't ruin that for you. And then, and then as I mentioned, I took that training and the One Funnel Away challenge, and so I'm creating some funnels and I'm kind of working those out. I'm kind of like multitasking, and I need to just focus on one thing, but I've got so many kind of different things going on. But anyway, I kind of hit some walls, and so I've just been asking some questions. The cool thing about ClickFunnels, you can get on there and type, and they'll answer your questions. And so, this has really been good for me because it's really kind of pushed me a little bit. And what I've realized is that sometimes we get in a learning loop. I don't know where I heard that term, but it really stuck to me. And so you just kind of get in there and you kind of get things figured out. Just, it's kind of like this. You come along and here you are, you're walking along and everything's great, and you're walking along and you've got it all figured out to this point. And then you hit a problem that is like this. And then what doesn't solve this problem, so now we're not happy no more. So what do? And what happens is, and I'm not sure if you can see that, I need to get better pins. But what happens is that we don't have the knowledge to solve the problem that's bigger than that. So what we need to do at that point is we need to ask questions and learn so that our knowledge encompasses that difficulty or that problem that we have, and then we're happy again. So it's a cycle that we go through, and or a process, not a cycle, it's more of a process. And so we're always learning. And so I'm a social worker. I have a day job, or I did, and I'll probably end up doing that before this is over. I don't know. We'll just see. I hope not. I hope this really takes off, and that's my energy. But anyway, this is what I'm experiencing, and so I think that's really powerful, because sometimes we hit walls, we kind of go, and you back up, and you just, maybe don't give it that push. You don't give it that full court press that you need to get through it. You're learning here, you hit a problem here. We got to expand our knowledge out here to encompass that difficulty that we face. So that's what I've done on a couple of things that I'm working through, just like in the process. Thank goodness for ClickFunnels. I know I give them a lot of kudos, but I'll tell you, it's really been good. So I haven't found anything better, and till then, that's where I'm at. And then, and then the other thing is, and last thing, and I'll wrap it up with this, is I've been thinking about my ideal customer, and I said, I think yesterday or one of the days here recently, that I don't want everybody to come running, and sign up, not that they would, but part of the mentality in people building MLMs is that they, every warm body that'll hold a pen and pull out a credit card, they'll sign them up. And, maybe they'll buy some stuff for a month or two, and then they just kind of like go away, and again, there's that balloon. You're blowing air in it, and it's getting bigger, and then there's a hole in it, and it's deflating. It's quicker than you can put the air in there. And so I don't want to do that. And so, they talk about creating your avatar, your ideal customer. And so I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking, well, maybe it's the people that are in their 40s and 50s, and are part of the 80% or 75% of the people that couldn't retire when it comes time, and they'll have to work the rest of their life, that are raising kids and having a family, a lot of single family homes, just different things. It's not like it was when my parents and my grandparents were growing up and went to work. And so is that my ideal customer? And so I think that's partly part of it. Definitely want to work with people that are in that situation and help them out. And I want to help streamline this process. I feel like in some ways I'm reinventing the wheel a little bit, but I think that's part of knocking it out until I get this figured out. But also, I think bottom line is it really doesn't matter where a person is in life. I guess my ideal customer is somebody that I don't want to talk to broke people. And I don't mean people that don't have money in their pocket necessarily, but a broke mentality. And I'll give you an example. I was driving one day back in my early 20s, and I don't know why this sticks with me. And I'm driving along with this buddy of mine, and we go through this intersection, and there's this ratchet, this big old ratchet in the road, tool, the thing you loosen and tighten bolts with, or nuts. And so he goes, stop, I want to get that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So we kept going, and he's like, no, I want that ratchet. And I think it was a real nice ratchet. I think it was a Snap-on or one of those. But anyway, we get down a couple blocks, and he's adamant that he's going to go get that ratchet out of that intersection. And so I turned around and I pulled into this gas station. And he got out, waited for traffic to clear enough for him to go out there and risk his life for a ratchet. And he hopped in my truck, and I'll never forget him looking at that thing and like he had won the prize. And I thought, man, you are broke. Dude, you are so broke. I think I even said that to him. And I said, you just risked your life for a hunk of metal. I would have bought you a new one. And so anyway, that's the brokenness I'm talking about. And so, I want people that aren't broke as part of my ideal customer. I want people that can see the potential, that see the vision, that can come up to a situation and not get stumped by it, and that can really ask different questions and grow outside of the challenge and continue to grow beyond the problem. And what will happen here is that there'll be the next thing you're going to hit out here, and you're going to have to ask questions and go through this process and then increase your knowledge to overcome that problem or that challenge. And it just continues. And the cool thing about it, and I know this from life, is that the more I do that process, the better and the easier it's going to get. Because I'm going to hit some pretty tough ones. And I think, losing my job, never ever had that happen to me before. Well, I've had to kind of do that. So here I am, I'm building this business and taking some risk. I don't know if what I'm doing is going to even work or if it's going to convert, but I got a pretty good idea that it will. But I've had some challenges. I've had to ask different questions. I've got to grow beyond the problems and expand my knowledge. So I want my ideal customer is somebody that is not broke, isn't seeing the glass half empty, has a mentality for being wealthy, and as I define wealth as choice, freedom, health, and income. You don't have to define it that way, but it's not talking about my empty wallet. And so that's what I'm talking about. I think that's my ideal customer. I'm not looking for a particular age range. I think it's a person with the right mentality. Somebody that's teachable, and that wants to grow, and that I can learn from. And so that's my ideal customer. I developed a department this last 2.5 years, and a very specialized department going into the community working with families. And I got a lot of experience about 15 years ago, and so I went in and started training these people, and they got really good at going into the community and working in this very specialized way with families and helping them kids stay at home and not get in trouble and go into out-of-home placements. And it was really awesome, and they're still doing it. But what was really cool was, as I would teach these people, I would go out in the community with them and sit with them. And as I sat with them and watched them, do what I had taught them, I learned from them. And I walked away, and it's that mentality that we've got to continue to be a student, a lifelong learner, something they talked a lot about in grad school. We've got to be a lifelong learner, lifelong student of whatever it is we're doing. So, and I think that's what gets us through those difficult times, gets us over the top and across the finish line. And so, anyway, that's my update for today. And if this was helpful, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and and if you have any questions, just write them down below, or go to mlmscience.com. I'm going to have a place there where you can go and write to me and directly on the website. I hope that was helpful. Please tune in tomorrow. I'm going to continue this journey, and we're going to get it worked out, and would like to bring you along with me. So until then, have a great day, and God bless you.